Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Ratliff Mandolins weekly production diary. It is mid-August here in Upper East Tennessee, and we're having typical mid-August weather. It is extremely hot and extremely humid, and there's times I think you could just dip the water out of the air with a teaspoon, and it's made life extremely difficult trying to shoot finish and that sort of thing for the last 3 or 4 weeks. But we have gotten a lot of things accomplished, and that's what we're going to concentrate on this week's episode, is the things that we are going to accomplish. I've got a list of, a job jar list of things that I'd like to see done by Friday, and so we're just going to tick them off as we get to them. Come with me, we'll leave the flower garden here and go back into the shop and see how much we can get done between now and Friday. The first big accomplishment this week, the final coats of finish have been put on mandolin number 3 in our batch. The cream colored top with a nice tasteful sunburst on the back, and it is done. Now, as you know, we have 10 mandolins in a batch, and 4 of those have already had their finish put on them. Mandolin number 10 and mandolin number 1, 2, and 3. 10 and 1 are in the back room awaiting their final dispositions, and 2 and 3 are hanging right here. They have their frets put in them. That leaves 6 mandolins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 here, that have not had their frets in. So in the course of the last 2 or 3 weeks, every time I had 15 minutes or an hour or so, I've come in here and worked on the fretboards to each of these mandolins, and got some work done. And for the last day and a half, I've concentrated exclusively on these fretboards, and I have cleaned up the bottom of the fret slots, checked to make sure there's not any debris, any dried glue, anything in there that's going to keep that fret from going all the way down in that fret slot and seating correctly. I have checked the radius on these fretboards. When you sight down the fretboard, I want the radius to be the same all the way down, and clean and slicked up and sanded to a very, very, very fine sandpaper. So believe it or not, you'd be surprised at how many hours worth of work goes into that. And today I have finally finished up all 6 of these fretboards, and they are ready now to have frets in them. So I'm going to grab the next one in line, which might as well be mandolin number 4 here, and I'm going to grab it, take it into the big room, and put frets in it. So that's big accomplishment number 2, is to get all of these ready to go and start the fretting process on these 6. Here I go. And here you have it. The third big milestone or accomplishment this week is the frets on the next mandolin that we're going to shoot finish on, which is mandolin number 4. And it's ready to get ready to shoot finish on. I have finally got all of my paperwork issues resolved with mandolin number 10, and it's on its way, or will be tomorrow, to its new owner. And so that is major accomplishment number 4 this week. And now the next thing I'm going to shoot for is to get the strings on mandolin number 2. It's a brown mandolin, very pretty wood, going to New York State. It's going to be a country boy, so we're going to see if we can get strings on this one. So this is mandolin number 2 in the batch, and I think all I really have to do now is put the tags on the inside, and it will probably be mandolin number 1, 2, 4, 5, I think. We'll find out in just a second. But this is actually mandolin number 2 in the batch, and it's about to get its official serial number, and we will be done with it. I can call my customer and tell him we can work out the final business arrangements and everything and get this mandolin shipped to him. Well, with the checking off of that mandolin there, that's yet another major accomplishment this week. I'm thrilled to bits. And yesterday morning, they called from the trophy shop, said, hey, we've got your little plastic piece done. So now all I have to do is take this plastic piece with my customer's initials on it and turn that into a truss rod cover. And this green one here will be ready to pick up as well. One more thing checked off the to-do list. So now I've actually accomplished most of the things that I had on the job jar list this week that I wanted to get done, with the exception of putting finish on mandolin number 4. So I'm going to tackle that next. We did get the frets, as you saw, in mandolin number 4, so there's really nothing else to assemble. Everything from this point on is just simply sanding and tweaking and all that kind of stuff, and it usually takes from this point on about a day or a day and a half for me to get it ready to shoot the color on, and it's already pretty late on Thursday, so I'm going to guess that that's not going to get done until Monday morning. But by golly, I'm going to give it a good old college try, as my father used to say, and we'll get started on it right now and see if we can get it done by tomorrow afternoon. We'll see. Well, it's just about quitting time on Friday, and I did get the stain on this particular mandolin. I think I'll hang around here just long enough for the stain to dry, enough for me to shoot a tack lacquer coat on it before I go home, and we'll call it a day then. And I'll end this video as well right here. So thank you so very much for watching all the way to the end. Come back each and every week, of course, to see the next episode of the Ratliff Mandolins Weekly Production Diary. Hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't done that yet. And please leave me a comment. I always appreciate the comments. We'll look for you on the next episode. Bye.